Okay.
Wait until next turn.
Oh,
I know it's just Lunecra with me, but it's still just wait till next turn.
Actually, if you want, why don't you do a story while I see if I can get the kid to go back to sleep?
Okay. Yeah, we can do that.
So we can do a pause.
All
so
right.
redeem a story, friend, and I'm gonna deafen for now, or just mute.
All right. Well, let's see here. Another mythology story? So, Baby Hermes, Cattle Thief, or Scotty joins the Asir. Baby Hermes. Okay. So. Oh, wait 1 second. Speaking of angry babies, there's an angry baby upstairs right now. Alright. So, Zeus was up to one of his regular escapades. You know, he just kind of out wandering around. Finds the beautiful nymph Maya. Naturally, because this is Zeus we're talking about, he knocks her up. So, to hide Maya from Hera's wrath, Zeus finds a very, it's always described as luxurious cave. It's, we're not really 100% sure where it is, but he just packs it full of creature comforts. It's basically a mansion that happens to be in a cave. And Maya hides there and eventually gives birth to the Greek trickster god Hermes, herald of Olympus, god of merchants, heralds and thieves. Barely a few hours old, though, Hermes leaves while his mother sleeps and recovers from childbirth. The little baby Hermes, literally like a newborn baby, because, you know, he's a deity, so he just kind of gets up and walks around. Finds a turtle, and as babies are wont to do, decides to kill it. He turns the turtle's corpse into the first 7-string lute, lyre, actually, and begins to sing praises to his mother and father. Well, all that singing and presumably, you know, killing a turtle at, 5 hours old, gets him pretty hungry, so he starts to crave meat. He starts kind of wandering around and eventually sees the followers of Apollo tending to a herd of cattle. Being a newborn baby with no concepts of ownership. Oh, thanks for the follow, Captain Astro.
Captain Astrolife has joined the class.
Thank you. We're just telling mythology story. I have redeems to tell various kinds of stories, because I am actually versed in history and mythology. So anyway, we'll go back to this. He decides that the cows are his because, you know, he's a baby and they have no concept of stuff. Fiddlecake's now released my baby. Stop kidnapping her. Oh, I see. Fenn's dragging more people. I appreciate it. Well, he decides to wait till nightfall. Splits 50 head of the cattle away from the rest of the herd, and begins to walk backwards in the same tracks he walked up to them in to lead them away, and make people like not so think be really confused. Like there's wow, those are baby tracks. There's only one set of baby tracks. The cows ate a baby. Anyway, your friend want to help? All right, fair. So in the morning he gets up, or he leads the cows back to his cave and just kind of curls up and goes to bed. In the morning, he gets up, butchers 2 of the cattle, and feeds the rest. Now, the thing about the gods in Greek mythology is they can only partake of godly food. Oh, Fen, thanks for the sub.
3 gifted a tier 1 sub to Seve.
Oh, so you just gave Sivo sub to me now. Wow. Thanks, buddy. So, but in Greek mythology, the gods can only partake of like godly food. That's why ambrosia exists. That's why all those other things. So he butchers these cows and then literally burns them alive or burns the meat not to like crisp because he can't partake in it. He can't eat it. But when he's burning it, he can smell it and he can get sustenance from that and stuff because it then becomes a spiritual situation. But he can savor it as an offering. He basically burns it as an offering to himself, being a god. He destroys all the remaining evidence, hides the rest of his cattle, and then sneaks back into his cradle just to be like, yeah, no, I've been here the whole time, guys. Totally, just wow, baby. Maya, knowing what deities can do as babies, literally stands up and calls him out for trying to act like a helpless newborn. Like, come on, dude. Like, we know you got up. We know you went and stole a bunch of cow. Come on. So Hermes tells his mom not to worry, though. He claims he will be known as a prince of thieves and earn both of them great honor and riches amongst the god of Olympus. So meanwhile, we're going to do a cut over to Mount Olympus. Apollo is freaking out. There are 50 cattle missing. 50 of his cattle disappeared. It's 50 head of cattle is no small amount of like cows to begin with, right? And they're just gone. No idea where they are. So Apollo's going and he goes to his worshippers that were herding the cows, and he finds a nice old man who tells about the strange baby that was driving cattle. And Apollo notices the tracks. And then he realizes, oh, I've got to be dealing with another one of Dad's kids. Okay. All right. Apollo follows the tracks and he finds Maya and Hermes. Hermes throws on the baby act, and Apollo knows better though. Like he, was like, help this baby, So Apollo goes, all right, look, cut the bullshit. I know what you can do. I remember what I could do. And Apollo starts to question him. Hermes states he couldn't have done it as he was only born the day before. Apollo knows way better. I mean, Apollo was the original trickster god of the Greek mythology. And so he literally grabs his infant brother by the ear and drags his ass back to Mount Olympus. He walks in, busts in the door, and goes, Dad, for one, baby. For two, I need you to hear a case against said baby. Zeus, presumably while getting glared at by Hera, agrees to hear the case. So Hermes proceeds to go on this long tirade of why he's innocent, literally ending with the line, and I was sleeping soundly in my cradle when this oaf here shows up and accuses me. Literally, there's not a single deity on Mount Olympus that doesn't know Hermes isn't full of it. Just absolute, complete and total bewilderment that he's even trying to lie. Hermes legitimately, or Zeus just breaks down laughing, like hardcore, into tears, whole 9 yards. He saw the whole thing. He didn't stop it. He knew that Hermes was born. He was going to visit, and just just absolutely, completely in tears over stitches. So Zeus orders Hermes to lead up Apollo to the rest of the cattle, and then states that the baby will be instituted as the herald and guide of Olympus. So when people come to Olympus, or other deities come to Olympus, or are being summoned to Olympus, the baby now has to go down and be like, all right, guys, they want to talk to you. Also, follow me. It's kind of, that's actually possibly the origin of the Cherubian myth, but that's another story. Hermes begrudgingly does as he said, and they actually end up going on this big adventure with each other, and Hermes is playing the lyre while they're being led to the cattle, and Apollo, who is also a god of music, so little brother, I respect that. I really like the instrument you made. So the two end up becoming really close, and Apollo actually ends up taking his little brother and his mother Maya into Apollo's direct protective care, trying to minimize the damage Hera can do to them, and also minimize the damage that Hermes' pranks cause other deities. But they end up becoming very close. They're rarely seen without each other, and they actually share quite a few purviews. But that's the story of how Hermes got his best buddy while also stealing a bunch of cattle. So, but And yes, he Apollo does get the other 48 cattle back because Hermes only killed 2 of them.